My name is Evelyn Mervine. I'm originally from New Hampshire in the United States, but for the past 8 years I've been living in beautiful Cape Town, South Africa. Today, in this video, I'm going to be talking about some of the climate change impacts and vulnerabilities that may be affecting the city of Cape Town.
The city of Cape Town is located in the Western Cape province of South Africa, at the northern end of the Cape Peninsula. The city centre covers an area of approximately 400 square kilometres, while the greater metropolitan region covers an area of approximately 2,400 square kilometres. The city centre, or city bowl, is located on low-lying land at the foot of Table Mountain. The city centre includes a large port. The suburbs are located on all sides of the mountain, primarily on low-lying areas, including the very low-lying Cape Flats region. The suburbs consist of both affluent areas, which have low population densities and well-structured layouts, and of less affluent areas. As reported in the most recent census in 2011, the population of Cape Town is approximately 430,000 people in the city centre, and approximately 3.74 million people in the greater metropolitan area. There is a range of different building types throughout the city. In the city bowl there are tall skyscrapers made from steel, concrete, and glass. There are also numerous smaller buildings that are mostly made from brick and concrete. Formal houses are primarily made of brick or concrete and have either traditional thatch roofs or tile roofs. The informal dwellings are made from a variety of materials, including scrap metal, wood, plastic tarps, and even cardboard. Cape Town has a large and diverse economy. The three biggest sectors of the economy are 1. Finance, insurance, property, and business services, 2. Trade, catering, and accommodation, including tourism, and 3. Manufacturing. Other major contributors to the economy are government services, construction, transportation, including the ports, agriculture, forestry, and fishing. In the Greater Western Cape area, the wine industry is a key contributor to both the trade and tourist industries. The current climate for Cape Town is Mediterranean, with cool, rainy winters and hot, dry summers. In the winter, storms approach from the west and bring rain and cooler temperatures, as well as northwesterly winds. In the summer, the South Atlantic high-pressure system keeps the city hot and dry, and there are often strong southeasterly winds. Because of the varied topography, weather conditions can differ throughout the city. For example, higher locations tend to have cooler temperatures. However, looking at weather records for the centrally located Cape Town Airport gives a good indication of climatic conditions for the majority of the city. Looking at the airport records, maximum temperatures typically range from approximately 26 degrees Celsius in January to approximately 18 degrees Celsius in July. Temperatures in excess of 40 degrees Celsius have been recorded historically. Minimum temperatures typically range from approximately 16 degrees Celsius in January to approximately 7 degrees Celsius in July. Temperatures of just below 0 degrees Celsius have been recorded historically. Historical records indicate that rainfall is highly variable from year to year. However, on average, there is approximately 540 millimeters of rainfall at the airport every year. The majority of this rain falls in the winter months, with June being the wettest month, with approximately 100 millimeters of rainfall, and January being the driest month, with approximately 9 millimeters of rainfall. Cape Town has experienced a variety of severe weather events in the past. During the winter, severe storms regularly occur, for example in 2005, 2008, 2017, and 2018. These cause storm surges, high rainfall events leading to flooding, and high winds. A particularly bad storm occurred on June 7, 2017. During this storm, more than 50 millimeters of rain fell over the city in places, wind speeds were in excess of 90 kilometers per hour, and ocean wave heights were 9 to 12 meters. 8 people died, approximately 800 homes, mostly in informal settlements, were flooded, 135 schools were damaged, and the roof of a shopping mall collapsed. During the summer, hot and dry weather can lead to heat waves, fires, and droughts. Notable heat waves occurred in January 2012, January 2016, December 2017, and very recently in October 2018. To date, deaths due to heat stroke are not a common occurrence. However, when heat waves are combined with strong summer winds, this increases fire risk, especially in the densely populated informal settlements. For example, during the most recent heat wave, fires in informal areas caused 3 deaths and left thousands of people homeless. Forest fires also commonly occur during the summer. A 2008 study determined that at least 373 fires occurred on Table Mountain between 1970 and 2007. 8 of these were very large fires that burned over 1,000 hectares. One of the worst fire years on record is 2000, when 18 fires burned more than 20,000 hectares. Another bad fire year was 2015, when a series of fires burned in the greater Cape Town region. For example, over 5 days in March, approximately 5,000 hectares were burned and 13 homes destroyed. Fighting this fire cost the city of Cape Town approximately 1 million rand per day. Cape Town has experienced a number of droughts, most recently from 2002 to 2005, and from 2015 to 2018, when water reservoir levels dropped to a low of 21% of total storage capacity. Before the drought finally broke a few months ago, the city was in serious danger of completely running out of water in a so-called day zero situation. During this drought, severe water restrictions were put in place, with city residents being limited to 50 liters of water per day. Agricultural water quotas were cut by 50 to 80%, leading to losses of approximately 700 million rand for the wine industry and of approximately 14 billion rand for the agricultural sector in the Western Cape. To examine projected climate change for Cape Town, we can look at both global and regional climate models. The Climate System Analysis Group at the University of Cape Town has downscaled 10 global climate models from the latest Coupled Model Intercomparison Project, or CMIP5. They have made these downscale results available online through their climate information portal. Looking first at temperature, global models, as reported in AR5, project average temperature increases of approximately 1 degree Celsius for RCP 2.6 and of approximately 2 degrees for RCP 8.5 by 2050 for the Cape Town region. Looking at downscaled projections for Cape Town Airport, all 10 models project average temperature increases for every month of the year. The increases range from about 0.5 to just over 2 degrees Celsius for RCP 4.5, and from about 0.75 to 2.5 degrees Celsius for RCP 8.5. Importantly, the downscale projections also indicate that temperature extremes will increase. For example, the number of very hot days over 36 degrees Celsius is predicted to increase. Looking next at precipitation, model results are more complex. Some global models show a decrease in precipitation over southern Africa. However, some models show no change or even an increase in precipitation. Looking at downscale projections for Cape Town Airport, the majority of models predict that rainfall will decrease. Because Cape Town is a coastal city located largely on low-lying land, it is also important to consider sea level rise. According to AR5, global mean sea level rise is likely to be between 0.26 to 0.55 meters for RCP 2.6 and between 0.45 to 0.82 meters for RCP 8.5. Climate change is also projected to increase the frequency and intensity of winter storms and will have an influence on wind speed. Cape Town's coastal infrastructure is vulnerable to climate change due to both sea level rise and increased storm intensities. A 2008 study examined 3 different scenarios of sea level rise and determined that billions of rands worth of real estate, tourism revenue, and public infrastructure are at risk. Port infrastructure is particularly at risk, and changing weather conditions could also affect port operations. For example, increased wind speeds would limit lifting activities. Droughts will also limit freshwater use in the port. More broadly in the transportation industry, higher temperatures damage asphalt roads and could lead to increases in aircraft downtimes. Cape Town's water supply is highly vulnerable to climate change, and this will affect both urban and agricultural water supply. Even if precipitation does increase, as some models predict, higher temperatures will lead to increased evaporation from water reservoirs. The agricultural, forestry, and fishing sectors could also be impacted by increasing temperatures. For example, grape production for the wine industry is particularly sensitive to the number of days with high temperatures, and marine life will likely reduce in abundance and biodiversity. Increased fire risk during summer months is a risk to infrastructure and will also negatively impact forestry. The financial and insurance industries are likely to be impacted by increased risk to assets and investments and increases in claims due to damage from weather. The impact of climate change on manufacturing is likely to be mixed. While some industries may suffer, certain industries, for example companies that produce air conditioning units or rainwater storage tanks, may improve. The construction industry might see an increase due to increased need for infrastructure repair and the need to build more resilient structures. There are likely to be increased energy requirements for cooling, and this may strain power supply. In terms of health, rising temperatures may have a negative impact through increased heat stroke risk, increased air pollution, and potentially increased geographical ranges of vector-borne diseases. Destruction of infrastructure such as sewage systems will also have negative health impacts. Cape Town's important tourism industry may suffer from a number of climate change impacts, including lack of water, increased temperatures, and loss of beautiful natural spaces, such as beaches and forests. Transboundary impacts of climate change could also affect several sectors. For example, increased temperatures and droughts are likely to negatively impact agriculture throughout southern Africa. This could increase food prices in Cape Town. Climate change could also positively impact agriculture in other parts of the world, such as in the Northern Hemisphere. This could lead to increased competition for goods and could have a knock-on effect on goods export from the port. In general, increased temperatures in the interior of southern Africa could drive migration to the relatively cooler coastal areas, both for comfort reasons and because jobs will be lost. This would increase the population of the city. On the one hand, this might stimulate the city's economy, but on the other hand, it might stress city resources. Energy supply to Cape Town could potentially be disrupted. Much of Cape Town's power supply comes from Koeberg Nuclear Power Station, which is located on the coast about 30 kilometers north of the city, and could potentially be impacted by, for example, sea level rise. Global changes in patterns of tourism, manufacturing, and investing are also likely to have an impact on Cape Town's economy. In summary, Cape Town will be strongly impacted by climate change and faces a number of vulnerabilities. The city has already put some effort into climate change adaptation plans. This effort will become more and more important in future in order to have a climate change resilient city.
We hope that you enjoyed the video. Bye bye!